This is going to be a quick video, but this is the list of the wasteful spending that's been going on here in the United States. Now, guys, a lot of you know that there's a list out there of all the wasteful spending. I'm not going to go down the entire list, but there's a lot of shit going on. As you heard in my last video, they're talking about giving us a refund from this whole Doge thing, and not so much a refund. I guess, yes, giving us our money back that they took from us to spend on this nonsense. But here's the list. $1.5 million to advance diversity, equity, and inclusion in Serbia workplaces. I don't understand that. And business communities. $70,000 for production of a DEI musical in Ireland. What DEI? Oh, God, I don't know where to go with that one. $2.5 million for electric vehicles in Vietnam. $47,000 for transgender opera in Colombia. Here I Am, Hear Me Roar. Like, what it? $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru. What the fuck, man? $2 million for sex change and LGBT activism in Guatemala. $6 million for fund tourism in Egypt. Egypt doesn't need any tourism funding. Everybody wants to go to Egypt to see the pyramids. Which, by the way, I'm going to talk about a story of the pyramids in the live stream, or one of my live streams, either this week or next week. Hundreds of thousands of dollars for a non-for-profit linked to designated terrorist organization, even after the Inspector General launched an investigation. Millions to EcoHealth Alliance, which was involved in research at the Wuhan lab. Hundreds of thousands of dollars of meals that went to an Al-Qaeda affiliate fighter in Syria. Funding to print personalized contraceptive birth control devices in developing countries. What personalized contraceptive devices do you need? It has to say that fucking name on it. What, are you going to go to Botswana and give Wabata her fucking... Enough. All right. Hundreds of millions of dollars to fund irrigation canals, farming equipment, and even fertilizer used to support unprecedented poppy cultivation and heroin production in Afghanistan, benefiting the Taliban. They also put money towards transgender surgery for animals. Not sure why. And then when they did that, they tested the animals on certain arm tickets after they changed their sex. This is our government spending money. Then they also had one about lizards on a tree, and to see how hard or what degree, what hurricane level would blow lizards off a tree. This is what they spent our money on. Yeah, $10 million for Mozambique volunteer medical male circumcision. They also sent condoms, if I'm not mistaken, to Gaza, Mozambique, and there was some ungodly amount of money they spent on condoms. And just keep in mind, guys, people in Gaza, Mozambique get the cheap condoms. Not like the shit we have here. The cheap condoms. And each of those condoms was something like, it used to be like 20, 25 cents to make. I think it's like 60 cents or whatever it is now. How many fucking the amount of condoms or money they spent to send them condoms can condom the world like 2 times or 10 times over, some shit like that. $7.9 million U.S. Berkeley to develop a cohort of Cambodian youth with enterprise-driven skills. All right, fine, I get that. That might be a usable one. $2.3 million for strengthening independent voices in Cambodia. Whatever. $32 million to the Prague Civil Society Center. $40 million for Gender Equality and Women Empowerment Hub. Like, we don't have enough of that shit here in the country. Anyway, $14 million for improving public procurement in Serbia. $486 million to the Consortium of Elections and Political Process Strengthening, including $22 million for inclusive and participatory political process in Moldova, and $20 million for voter turnout in India. $20 million for strengthening political landscapes in Bangladesh. $20 million for fiscal federalism in Nepal. $19 million for diversity conversation in Nepal. Now, keep in mind, guys, some of these countries have had some natural disasters, earthquakes, flooding, things of that nature. No mention of the money going to any of that. No mentioning to any money helping the people here in the United States who are still recovering from natural disasters that happened a year ago, 2, 3 years ago, even the one that happened a couple months ago, or sorry, a couple weeks ago in, what was it, Kentucky or whatever, the flooding. No mention of any money going to any of these recoveries, because this is from like a couple years ago to probably past that. And no money, no mention of money going to any of these places to help these places recover. $1.5 million for voter confidence in Liberia. $14 million for social cohesion in Mali. $2.5 million for inclusive democracy in Southern Africa, $47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. 8 fucking Chinese and those fucking little dudes with the fucking ching 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 ching. They're like the smartest people on the planet. What do we need them to have improving learning outcomes in Asia? Unless they're talking about the, what you call the countries like Vietnam and them. But still, whatever. Let's see, where else we're going to go with this? $2 million to develop sustainable recycling models to increase socioeconomic cohesion among marginalized communities in Kosovo, Roma, and Egypt. And I couldn't pronounce this one, but I'll put it here. Why? Now, keep in mind, guys, you heard all of this I read off. There's way more than that. There's actually a longer list that I'm probably going to read in a live stream in a later date. But the interesting part, and I think, is all of these have separate accounts, and all of these politicians are dipping into this account. That's why they're so mad at Elon and Trump for finding all this, because they're like, that's their source of income. How can politicians, guys, that don't, again, who have a $200,000 salary be worth millions? Well, this is how they're worth millions. They have all of these accounts set up that they can dip into. Anyway, guys, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching the Angry Truth channel.